5 professional divers descend into the Gulf of Paria off the coast of Trinidad. The job is routine. A 30-inch underwater oil pipeline needs maintenance. They've done jobs like this dozens of times. By 3 p.m., 4 of them are inside the pipe, alive, in the dark, and no one is coming. The 5 men work for Land and Marine Contracting Services, a diving company hired by the state-owned Paria Fuel Trading Company to carry out repairs on a pipeline that runs 400 meters from the shore to a berth at sea. Their job today is to remove a plug from the line, inspect the interior, and fix a leak. A hyperbaric chamber sits on the seabed nearby, a pressurized habitat that allows them to work without decompression stops between dives. Their names are Christopher Boudram, Fizal Kurbone, Yusuf Henry, Kazim Ali Jr., and Rishi Nagasa. They are fathers, sons, husbands. Rishi Nagasa has a wife and young children. Yusuf Henry is known for his calm under pressure. Fizal Kurbone is one of the most experienced divers on the team. Kazim Ali Jr. is 26 years old and works for his father's company. Boudram has been diving his whole adult life. It is the only job he has ever wanted, and there is something in this pipeline that nobody told any of them about. Almost a month earlier, Paria pumped oil out of the pipeline to prepare it for maintenance. What that process created inside the pipe is known as delta P, differential pressure, a vacuum. Think of it like a drain with the plug pulled. Anything near the opening gets dragged in. In a 30-inch pipe underwater, that force is catastrophic. Delta P kills people. It is a known hazard in the industry. Any proper risk assessment for this type of job would list it. Any properly briefed diver would know to check for it before opening the line. Nobody warned the divers. The hazard assessment did not mention it. At 3 p.m., the 5 men removed the plug. In an instant, all 5 are sucked violently into the 30-inch pipeline at 18 meters depth. Christopher Boudram is pulled in first. In the pitch black, coated in oil, body slammed against the pipe walls, he does the only thing he can think of. He crawls. For 3 hours, he drags himself through oil and water along the floor of the tube, moving in the direction he thinks leads out. His eyes burn. His throat burns. His ears ring. He cannot see his hand in front of his face. The darkness is total. He tells himself he is going to die. At some point, he hears the voices of his colleagues behind him. They are alive. They are talking. They guide him. Keep going. This way. Keep moving. Without them, he later says, he would not have known which direction led out. Then he sees a light. He thinks it is the angel of death. It is Kurbone's son who has entered the water above and is shining a torch down into the pipe opening. Boudram crawls toward it. He is pulled out. He is the only one. Boudram immediately tells the surface team what happened. 4 men are still inside. He knows because they told him. In the darkness of the pipe, his colleagues guided him toward the exit. With their voices, they knew the way out. They could have escaped. But Boudram came first, and the moment he cleared the opening, Paria's workers above sealed it off. The 4 men are trapped, but they are alive. Workers on the surface begin knocking on the pipeline. From inside, they hear knocking back. For the next several hours, a battle plays out on the surface that the 4 men inside know nothing about. The diving contractor, LMCS, wants to send divers back in immediately. Volunteer rescue divers arrive at the scene, suited up and ready to enter the water. A plan is forming. It is dangerous, but it is possible. Paria says no. Their terminal operations manager, Colin Piper, makes the decision. The rescue attempt is too risky, he says. He cannot authorize sending more divers in. Nobody from Perea has spoken to the country's best commercial diving experts who are standing on the dock. Nobody from Paria has sent a camera into the pipe to see where the men are. For hours, they search for the men in open water, outside the pipe, despite knowing they went in. At one point, workers are physically prevented from approaching the pipeline entrance. The Commission of Inquiry later finds that Paria spent the first critical hours chasing the wrong theory entirely. Instead of accepting that the men were in the pipe, which Boudrum had told them directly, surface teams searched open water, wasting the window of time when a rescue was most possible. Inside the pipe, in the dark, covered in oil, 4 men are praying. One of the divers is wearing a GoPro camera. The lens is coated in crude oil and cannot see anything. But the microphone works. The audio is recovered later. The men are heard praying, comforting each other, waiting. They do not sound like men who have given up. Autopsy reports later establish that Kazim Ali Jr. was alive for at least 39 hours after being sucked into the pipeline. 39. The company declared them dead within 2. On the night of February 27th, 2 days after the accident, Perea holds a press conference. Their chairman announces the operation has changed from a rescue to a recovery. They are no longer looking for survivors. They are looking for bodies. The families of the 4 men watch the press conference on television. On the dock, workers are still getting responses when they knock on the pipe. The bodies are recovered over the following days. Fizal Kurban, Yusuf Henry, and Rishi Nagasar on February 28th, Kazim Ali Jr. on March 3rd, 6 days after the accident. Kazim Ali Jr. was 26 years old. His father, Kazim Ali Sr., owned the contracting company that employed him. He was on the surface when his son was sucked into the pipe. For 2 days, he fought to be allowed to send his own divers in. He had the crew, he had the equipment, he had the plan. He was not allowed. The commission later found that LMCS was effectively prevented from pursuing rescue by Perea. Ali Sr. was on the dock the entire time, watching, blocked at every turn, while his son knocked on the walls of a pipe 18 meters below. The Commission of Inquiry report, all 380 pages of it, is published in November 2023. It finds that Paria's negligence was, in its own words, gross and criminal. It recommends corporate manslaughter charges. The report states that the opportunity to rescue the men was completely wasted by a degree of inertia that is difficult to comprehend. It also finds that Paria originally claimed to have been monitoring the divers from the surface with rescue divers standing by. That claim is false. There were no rescue divers. There was no monitoring. There was no plan. Perea has never apologized to the families. As of 2206, no criminal charges have been brought. Vanessa Kussi, the widow of Rishi Nagasar, has said the families should be compensated for life based on their husband's full pay. A government minister promised a payment of $1 million per family before an election. After the election, he said there were legal complications. The money has not arrived. Christopher Boudrum, the man who crawled out, cannot sleep through the night. He cannot go to the ocean. He cannot work as a diver. His passion, the only career he ever wanted, is gone. He has a daughter. He cannot teach her to swim. He told the Commission of Inquiry, "Sometimes I think it might have been easier for me if I had died." He also said this, "I have researched the law. I don't believe corporate manslaughter charges will hold up in Trinidad, but I am pleased the Commission did their job well and honest. I hope someone listens." The widows and children of the 4 men are still waiting. The company that left their fathers to die is still operating. The executives who made the decision to block the rescue have not been prosecuted. The pipeline is still there, maintained, as always, by diverse.